Ciao, Randy and Marisa here on this beautiful Sunday morning, and it really is. I mean,
it's gorgeous.
Look at that. Yeah, be jealous. It's okay. Wow. So we missed you guys last week. We ate at a really horrible restaurant, and it was just we got sick.
Yeah,
just straight
we were
up.
a little.
We were not well, and I wanted to try to shoot it, and I was like, I was like, no, this is you guys don't want to see me, white, ashen faced, and the nausea was horrendous. It really was bad. So we won't be eating there again, needless to say.
No.
Anyway. All right, so hey, I was thinking of putting up a live stream cam, either outside of my bedroom window, no dirty thoughts, either outside facing that way or up on the roof, and we're gonna be facing toward the lake. And I kind of want to get your feedback on that. What do you think about it? Would you be interested in visiting it and viewing it? That I will probably try to monetize, just to be honest, because I'm gonna end up spending couple $1,000s to do that, to get the right camera, the right setup, to get a host and all of that. So if you guys know of a host that does that really well for a fair price, hey, shoot me a message, let me know. And I'm going to show you the picture. This is what you would be seeing. And that's what we wake up to almost every morning if it's clear like this.
Yeah,
and
it's been beautiful.
It's just gorgeous. And we thought it'd be cool to share it, but wanted to get your opinion on it. So let me know. All right. In other words, in other news.
In other news.
In other news. So I'm trying a new hobby, and I'm just going to overlay some pictures. I started making beer. I got a kit. I think just like most people start out making beer, they get a kit, and the kit's neither here nor there. It's unfortunately the kit I got. It was nice and it worked really well, but the fermenters are one and done. I can't get the lids off at all. Like completely snapped one of the handles trying to get it off.
Yeah.
Once they sealed up, that was all she wrote. So I decided to make beer again, which I probably will because I had fun doing it. I'll get a stainless steel fermenter, and that way I don't have to do the plastic ones anymore. Anyway, I made a batch of Irish Stout, and it's bottled now. It'll be ready to try maybe next Saturday, next Sunday. I'll let you guys know in the next video how that went. It really needs to age a little more in the bottle, second fermentation and all that. And so for those of you that don't know how to make beer or do know how to make beer, you'll understand this. So you utilize a tool called a hydrometer, which is just this glass vial with weights in it. And when you put it in the beer, it lets you know the specific gravity. And based on a certain specific gravity, you know when to bottle it, so you don't have bottle bombs. You don't have over fermentation and the bottles explode, right? So I checked the stout and it's good to go. And I knew the next day I was gonna have to check my Belgian lager because I'd made a lager as well and it needed an extra couple of days to ferment. So I'm checking it to make sure it's stable. The stout was good. I knew I was gonna bottle that. I cleaned off and sanitized the hydrometer. I go to slide it back in the tube. It shot straight through the tube. The bottom of the tube came out, the plastic tube that it has housed in, and the thing hit the floor and shattered. And I was like, no, I gotta check this stuff tomorrow. So I jumped on Amazon real quick and I ordered another one. And I thought, okay, this thing's gotta get here. And I'm not gonna go into Amazon and their AI nonsense with thinking that you're not ordering stuff you're ordering. But anyway, long story short, I had another one sent to me. They send this glass hydrometer in a thin plastic bag that was inside of a thin cardboard package. So you can imagine when I opened it, it was not in one piece. So we kind of looked around Castiona trying to find any place that sold beer making equipment or hydrometers or anything. All I could find was an alcoholometer, and that doesn't do me any good because I don't.
There's a lot of wine making around
distill
here, not so much
here.
beer making.
Not so much beer. Anyway, I ended up bottling the Belgian lager a couple of days after that. I thought it would be safe, and I haven't had any explosions. So that one should be ready to drink in about 9 days from now. So we'll see how it turns out. I don't know. I'd never made beer before, so, you know.
And then you're making mead, too.
I made mead as well.
You made me taste it. It was gross. I'm like,
so,
what is this stuff?
We know a guy that has bees, and so I bought 2 kilograms of honey from him, and I decided to make 4 liters of mead. So if you make mead is a 4-to-1 ratio, 4 of water to 1 of honey. And then you can add whatever other flavoring you want if you want to add flavoring, rosemary or whatever. People do all different stuff with mead. I just wanted a simple honey mead, and I made the fermenter out of an old distilled water jug, and it worked great. And the mead did turn out. It doesn't really have a lot of flavor right now. You can smell the alcohol, but it has to sit in the bottle for about 6 months. And it needs to clarify and calm down, and once it's done, it should be good to go. So we'll know in March or April next year how that's gonna pan out.
See, now I'm more like, why aren't we making limoncello or that type of stuff?
And we will. I gotta work my way up to that.
I'd rather have those kind of liqueurs than mead.
Yeah, but anyway. I'm learning. I like I said, I'm trying a new hobby. It's beautiful here. The weather's beautiful, but not always. Some days we have storms, just like everywhere else. Some days it can be too hot, and in the winter it can be too cold. So I wanted something to do that I could do inside, and have fun with it, and kind of grow my mind. All right, let the car go by here. Today is the first day of hunting season here.
Oh yeah.
So we woke up at 6:30 this morning. 2 gunshots all around. They can't hunt behind us or even over here, but they can hunt back over there to the south of us. And
in the
boy,
valley.
were they ever.
Yeah,
so,
in the valley. And they're still at it.
They're still at it, yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, that's okay. It's just,
Leo's not happy.
No,
My border collie is not happy.
He doesn't like it. All right, on the olive grove. So today's video is mostly about what we're doing on the property. The olive grove, as we said a couple weeks ago, we have the fly larva damage on the olives. We had somebody we know come and spray the trees.
Yes.
It's too little, too late at this point. I had cleaned out, and Marisa and I had cleaned out all of these little saplings, and I couldn't remember what they were called in Italian, and I don't even know how to look it up.
Succhiotti.
Succhiotti.
Succhiotti, I think.
So it's like the sucklings, they suck the energy away.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you the videos of that, and I actually talk about the little suckling things. I've been down here working on these trees, getting these saplings trimmed out, and let me show you again, because it's been about a week. I've been working on them. Marisa's been working on them. So you see these little saplings come up. I can't remember what they're called in Italian. I'll have to look it up again. But it translates into suckling, or like a thing that sucks the energy from. So, they've got a word for it, but I can't remember what it is. I've got about 20 trees left to trim out of the 114 trees that we have. But I'm physically not capable of doing this every single day, so I need a break from it. So you can see the ones I've trimmed that haven't been cleaned up. Some of these trees, obviously, like if you look at this one, it wasn't that bad. It's pretty quick. You knock it out in a couple of seconds. But then there's other trees like these up here that were, because there's 4 of them, and they're really heavily infested with these little saplings. You also have to come up to the top. You're supposed to get these. I left some of them. We'll trim them next season. But you can see it's a lot. It's a lot of work. For just one 54-year-old guy to try to manage anyway. Yeah, I missed those. I got to come back and do those. Okay. So it's good I'm walking through here. I didn't get all these out. I did take the trimmer. I have an electric trimmer, and I'm doing the bottom with the trimmer, because it's a lot faster. And I'll probably have to do these again before we harvest. There's not a lot of olives on the trees. It's been a pretty bad year for that. The trees are pretty dry. You can see the leaves are falling off. So, but I did all of these. And again, you can see some of them were pretty substantial in terms of having a lot of growth around them. The other mistake I made was earlier this year I decided to leave the blackberries, thinking that they were going to produce all these blackberries. They have not, and we're at the end of August. So next year when they come up, I'm cutting them out because they got to come out anyway because they'll tangle up in the nets. So we can't have anything in there. So I've got to take out all these. I mean, look at this mess. This is probably going to take me a half hour or more to do just this one tree cluster. And then there's another one up here that's pretty well overgrown. But if you look at this, like this tree's not that bad. I just need to take out some at the top up here. So that's what we're doing. I'm not going to film me doing it. I'm just going to do it. The other thing I want to show too, there's a feral cat problem here. So feral cats come on the property, they dig the holes, and there's a bunch of them. It took about an hour. I got the last 20 trees. These down there were pretty overgrown and on a slope and not easy to get to. That one was really, really bad. As you can see, it was bad. But we did a lot of work to get those saplings out, and only to find out that we're not going to be able to commercially harvest our olive oil this year.
Just be for us.
We can harvest some for us because the larva gets in the olive when they if you've ever seen, we have a video from a couple of years ago where we actually show the process of them making olive oil. If you haven't seen that video, you can go back and find it.
Yeah, it's in Montefalco.
And it's a pretty neat process. But basically, they chuck the whole batch in, leaves, stems, you name it, it all goes in. There's a separator that separates the leaves and the stems for the most part, and then it goes into a macerator, and it macerates everything: the seed, the flesh, all of it. And it's a really cool process. And then the oil comes out and you got this beautiful green, tasty, spicy new oil.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
But the owner of the winery that I've been working for part-time, he came and he sprayed, and he told us that he is willing to show us how to maintain the olive groves, because they have massive amounts of olive groves. So after they harvest, we're going to go through the process of how to get the trees ready for the next harvest, what we need to do throughout the year and all of that. So, I mean, we need to learn from somebody that's doing it, because you ask the neighbors and somebody says one thing, another one says another one. We need to learn ourselves how to do it so that we don't have to ask anyone and be proactive, because it is a large olive grove, and we could be making lots of olive oil. So
and
okay.
And we will next year. And we knew this year was going to be a little less on the output, if you will, because we trimmed the trees. It shocked them. There's some trees that have no olives on them, and we knew that was going to happen. We were told, we were warned. What we weren't told is that we needed to start spraying these trees in May for these flies. And
we didn't know. It's not a yearly
not
occurrence.
even an annual thing necessarily. But so olive oil is going to take a hit in Umbria and Tuscany in particular because of all this fly infestation, the heat and the lack of rain. It just really fueled these flies and their larvae and whatnot. So you walk by other groves here, and you can look at the olives and see the little hole in it, and in the little, in all the olives.
And obviously you can't pick and choose the olives. So you just have to.
We'd be here a year and a half trying to get through enough.
No, you have to pick the trees that are less, the least amount of damage
affected. So we're going to try to harvest about 10 trees when it comes to it next month, and this will be just for us. Because just because it's brown doesn't mean you can't use it. It's not usable.
It's not something you
but
can
it's
sell.
not commercially viable. Yeah, at that point.
I mean, we don't have a license to sell.
No,
we would
don't.
sell to neighbors,
Yeah.
but honestly, all of our neighbors have
they all have
olive
olive trees.
So
and everybody's in the same boat as us here. So almost everybody that didn't know about it. So, but next year we'll know. We'll proactive. You don't know what you don't know, and then when you know, you do something about it.
Right.
All right. But finally, so you know, back in March when we bought this property and we moved in, I bought a little lawnmower called Tractorino, and I've had to modify it over the years, and I'm not really going to talk about a whole lot, but I'm just going to show you what happened and what ended up happening. So with this little Tractorino and how it's gone through
some plastic surgery.
a lot. Yeah, it's crazy.
Plastic surgery.
So anyway, I'll show you that video here. All right, so I said in a previous video, I bought this little Tractorino earlier this year. It's brand new, but it's had a lot of issues. This was not a cheap riding mower. I paid about $3,000 US for it, and it was really all I could find in the area, and we needed a mower at the time. So what I found is that this motor in particular is badly underpowered. I think it's about a 12 horsepower equivalent. I had to take the turf tires off that were on it and put on some ATV tires because the thing just couldn't climb up the hill, and even the little hills, the little slight slope, it just would spin and spin and spin. And then over the past month or so, what's happened is that when I'm mowing this field in particular, and as I come up where that dead tree is, let me zoom out a little bit. So where that dead tree is right there, as I come up on that slope, and again, it's not a really horrible slope, this mower just smokes, and it's burning oil. It's a grayish white smoke, and it's going through a lot of oil. And the oil's full. I've been a shade tree mechanic all my life, so I know the issues that are going on with this. So I think it's just underpowered, and it's stressing out, and it's getting blow by on the rings at this point because it was just too much stress. So what I found is that for the newest model, so apparently this is last year's model, for the newest model, they actually put a 16 horsepower motor or 16 and a half horsepower motor in it. And it's the same. So I ended up buying this one. This is the same exact motor. It's a Stiga motor, and it's a 16 or 16 and a half horse. It should just be a pretty straightforward remove and replace. It'll probably take me all day to do it because I move slowly, but yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna film a little bit of it as I go. I'm not gonna film it as I do it though, because I've got to focus on doing this. Yesterday, so I talk about this thing being really not worth the money. When I bought this brand new, the shifter wouldn't shift very easily. It was really hard to get it to go into gear. And so I had the company that sold it to me, I had them look at it a couple of times. And one of the guys said, he said, you bent the bar. And I'm not that strong. So I told him, no, I didn't bend anything. I just shifted it. And so he messed around with it, never did get it right. Basically, when it was in neutral, that was reverse. And first gear was neutral. Fifth gear was fourth gear, and I didn't have fifth gear. So I took all of this apart yesterday, this whole back end, and got to the shift linkage, because this is like a box under here, and you can't get to it from the side. Everything's inside the metal box, the way they designed it. So anyway, I took it out. Sure enough, the shift bar was not only bent, it was bent in a direction that put it up into the drive pulley for the transaxle, and it just chewed up the rod. And then on top of that, the little tab, there's a little tab that sits on the transaxle, and that actually, it shifts the the little indicator inside, it shifts that inside. That tab was bent down, and it was causing the rod where it goes through to drag on the transmission. That's what was hanging it up the whole time. And apparently me trying to force it into gear bent the other rod. So long story short, I straightened out the rod, I bent the tab back up, and now it shifts nice and smooth like it's supposed to. Neutral's neutral, reverse, reverse, first through fifth gear. So I'm pretty happy about that. Today, we're going to try to swap out this motor, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so I went up to my local hardware store, and they gave me new bolts. And I was not trying to get new bolts. I was trying to get a tap, and tap wasn't translating correctly in Google Translate. I had no idea what it was. But I finally just kind of showed him, and through Google Translate and my really bad Italian, we kind of figured out that this is what I needed. And he was trying to explain to me that the old bolts, because it's that this bolt here that came out is not hard, and this is a grade 8.8, so it's a grade 8 bolt, and it's a lot harder. So for the bigger engine, more powerful engine, you got to have a stronger bolt, and that's what he was trying to tell me. So all right, let me get this tapped, and I got to get his tap back to him. So all right, so it's in, it starts, it runs. The only thing I have to do, I'm gonna have to modify the exhaust on it, because it doesn't fit. Everything else is working so far. I may have to modify the throttle as well a little bit. It seems like it runs a little backward on this one, so I might have to do that. This particular engine is for a slightly different model. I actually ended up getting the 452 cc, and the one they put in here is the 425 cc in the new model. That's a 325 cc there, and so there's some differences on it, but I think I can get I'm gonna have to get a welder and a welding machine, and I can redo the muffler, and then I'm gonna play with this throttle. But it runs and drives, goes in gear, so far so good. Put a liter of oil in it. I think it calls for 1.2 liters, so I'm going to check the oil now that it's had some oil through it, and see if I need to add another 0.2 of a liter. All right, I finally got it back together. It's got the bigger motor in it. I managed to get the exhaust put in. You can see a little bit there. I had to take the old pipe. I had to cut it in a couple places, turn it around, and weld it back up again. I bought this really cheap welder, and the welds look horrible. So even the ones I ground down aren't real pretty. They're solid, but they're not pretty. That welder's horrible. Anyway, she's done. right. Yeah, it's a lot, I know. So anyway, all right. So we have, over the past couple of weeks, we have been going a lot and doing a lot and shooting a lot. And I have loads of footage, like you wouldn't even believe. We've been to the Adriatic. We went to Bologna, and we've been to
Well, we've been Urbino, we did
Urbino,
Fano,
and
Senigallia,
Senigallia,
Pesaro.
all these towns in Marche.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to start running over the next couple of
Corinaldo.
weeks, to kind of show you what La Marche looks like, and the the benefits of that. Now I know people are going to say, well, why didn't you move to La Marche? La Marche is beautiful. It's a beautiful region. It's very seismic, and when we were looking for a place to move, we were looking for a place that was going to be void of most natural disasters, because we had our fill of hurricanes in Florida, and been there, done that. And this particular part of Umbria where we live, there's no earthquakes. The lake seems to,
even if there are, they're not
squash seismic activity, but even if they are, they're very minimal.
Apparently there was one in Montefalco, Bevagna last night at 11:11.
Yeah.
But we didn't feel anything.
We didn't feel it. We were up, so we
Yeah.
had a dinner party with some friends, and it was.
We didn't feel anything.
No, nothing. There's no hurricanes here. Obviously, we're in the middle of the country, and there's no hurricanes there anyway. But no, landslides or anything like that. We just don't get that stuff. We don't even get the flooding here that they get in northern Florida and northern Italy.
No, because we're not near rivers or anything. You can hear them shooting.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's what that was.
Awfully close.
Sometimes I wonder if the pigeons are attacking me or not.
Yeah, awfully close.
Anyway, but La Marche is beautiful, and
It's beautiful.
It is stunning. So that's the next couple of weeks. I think we're going to show those videos, and hope you enjoy them. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Shout out to all of our new subscribers and all of our current subscribers. We love subscribers, obviously. And like and subscribe if you haven't already. Show this to a friend. Look at our old videos. See what you think. We love your feedback. I try to answer everybody that leaves a comment. So, all right. Till next Sunday. Ciao.